And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Calisto Redux here with a second look at the random output generator I made back in 1.4.5. Since 1.5, Mojang has made a lot of changes to redstone, so this is actually my old circuit, and as you can see, every time you press the button, we get the same output. And well, this is because of the changes Mojang made to bud switches. So this design no longer works. I've been getting a lot of comments on this, so I decided to redesign it for 1.5 plus. I'm currently running 1.5.2, and this circuit is slightly more compact, uses a hopper-dropper combination, and still works. So as you can see, this is our output right there, and when we press the button, we get a different output. And I could actually slow this down a little bit through various means. I could slow down the clock right here. I could also take some of these items out of the dropper. But as it stands now, it works as a random generator with no need for binary to hexadecimal conversion. And there we have it, a different output. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and build this thing. Okay, so as usual, let's go ahead and start with our red block as our power source. We're going to place a button on top of it, and then we are going to invert the signal coming out of it. And then go ahead and build a clock, which is going to look like this. We're going to have redstone coming from the torch into a repeater, which needs to be set to more than 2 ticks. We'll go ahead and just put it at 3 for now. Redstone right there, and a torch right there. So as you can see, when we press this button here, it will activate this clock for as long as this torch is off. So, from this point, we will go ahead and extend the circuit out this way. We want to block off any direct signal from here, but this will still be powered by this repeater right here. If we didn't have this block here, this redstone would turn sideways and this clock would no longer work, so we need to block it off. And then from this block right here, we're going to go into our hopper-dropper combination. So you want a hopper facing upward, a dropper facing upward with a hopper on top. And then we're going to go ahead and fill this dropper up with any item that is stackable up to 64. And then in one remaining slot, we want an item that is not stackable. I believe the cheapest of which is a wooden shovel. So the way this is going to work is that this clock will go anytime it sends a tick out. It will tell this dropper to disperse one of these items at random into this hopper up above. So if it chooses one of the 8 pieces of redstone, it will only send a signal out through this comparator for 1 block length. So we'll only reach this far. Now if the shovel does happen to be picked, which you have a 1 in 9 chance of that being picked, it will actually send the signal out 3 block lengths. So we're going to go ahead and extend this. And so, essentially, only when the shovel is chosen will this repeater right here receive a signal. Now, the rest of the circuit is going to be just as my old circuit was, so we're going to go ahead and go into an RS NOR latch from here. This magenta will show our RS NOR latch. So this is a pretty old school design for an RS NOR latch. We're going to have a repeater set to default 1 ticks, leading into our source block. This block will have a torch on top, piece of redstone right there, piece of redstone right there, and then another torch. So as you can see, when we press this button, this clock will continue until this shovel is finally selected, sending a signal to this RS NOR latch and turning the clock off. So this RS NOR latch allows this clock to essentially run for a random amount of time. It no longer runs only as long as this button is pressed. Okay, so for now on, the circuit is going to be the exact same as my old 1.4.5 randomizer, but let's go ahead and build it. I have actually gotten a lot of questions on how to decrease or increase the number of outputs, so I'm going to go ahead and show that right here. So we're going to go ahead and start with just 2 outputs. So you want to bring the green circuit out 2 blocks, and then we'll go ahead and use half slabs. Something you want to remember for the sake of compactness is you want to use half slabs on your 2 end outputs. Because we're only using 2 in this circuit, we're going to go ahead and make both of them half slabs. Now these repeaters are going to be facing into other repeaters that will be locked. And then redstone in the middle. We're going to go ahead and bring this redstone signal down and back around to the beginning, as you can see here. So this explains the reason why we're using half slabs. If this was a full block here, this redstone signal would be broken off, but because we're using half slabs, it will allow the signal to go from this end down, around, and back up in the most compact way possible. So from here we have to choose our outputs. Any space between 2 locked repeaters can be an output. For the 2 ends, you have to decide whether you want the output to be there or to be here. Doesn't matter. For this circuit, we'll go ahead and choose this side. You cannot choose both. And then I will place lamps on top just to signal the outputs. So for now, let's go ahead and disable this RS NOR latch and disable this clock so we can finish setting up this green circuit. Now at this point, we want to send a single tick pulse through the front portion of this green circuit. I'm going to do that with the most compact monostable circuit I know of. So as you can see here, we have a repeater set to 1 tick, a sticky piston with a block on top of it, a little piece of redstone dust, and a repeater, and a button. Sorry, when we press the button, as you can see, it will send a single tick pulse through the front portion of this green circuit. Now we can go ahead and break this yellow circuit as it is no longer necessary, and re-enable this RS NOR latch and the clock. As you can see, we have this selected as the output here, and when we press this button, we will get a random output selected every time. We have a little bit of strange odds here because we just have 2 outputs. Eventually, we are bound to get this other one though. We have 50-50 chances here. Great video, Calisto. Yes, there we go. Other output. So anyways, we could show the practicality of this by adding more outputs, and there is no need for some kind of binary to hexadecimal converter. We can just go ahead and extend the circuit. So we're going to get rid of the single tick pulse from here, and we will keep a half slab at this end because, as I said, the 2 ends need half slabs, but the rest of them don't. So let's go ahead and add a few more outputs. We will go to here, and at the end again use a slab. So we will put repeaters on top here, leading into repeaters that will be locked. Once again, let's disable the RS NOR latch and the clock so it doesn't mess with our green circuit. And again, we have to connect this redstone signal through the bottom of the circuit back up to the top. Okay, so wherever there's redstone, we have an output. It's up again, of course, you have to choose one of the two ends. We have this end selected, so we'll leave that one blank. We have repeaters, which signify our outputs, for which we'll use lamps once again. And connect all the redstone up. So once again, just when you first run the circuit, you need to send a single tick pulse through it. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild this monostable circuit. Start a signal running through. And provided we aren't going to change the number of outputs, that circuit is no longer needed. So let's go ahead and re-enable the circuit and the clock. And that's our output selected. Let's go ahead and start the randomizer. And there you see a different output. Let's do it again. Same output this time, just by sheer luck. Same one again. And there you go. Different output. Same output by sheer luck. Different output. Well, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, I am Calisto I Redux, and until next time, boo!